Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, the egg box is back. I'm going to use the egg box as my pouring tool today. So 6 different compartments. I'm going to puddle the paint in there and I'm going to use the egg box to pour. I'm going to use my A3 canvas. So I'm using the smaller canvases, continuing this series just using smaller canvases because I want you to know that whatever we do creatively together, no matter what technique it can be, you've seen me do it on larger canvases, but I want to prove to you that we can also do it on smaller canvases or any size that's available to you. So I'm excited for this one. I'll take you down to see the colour palette. I'll show you how I prepare my canvas, and I'm just grateful that you're here with me. So let's see what we can create. Okay, so let me show you the canvas first. So it's a size A3 and I'm using the Loxley Ashgate brand. It's already double primed, so the canvases come ready primed. I don't need to do anything else. You can see it's all stapled on the back. They're my canvases that I'm going to use. So the colour palette, I'm going to use a range of these colours. They might not be in every single creation that I'm going to do in this series, but I am sticking with the purple and violet theme. So you can see I've got Arteza, the Pearl Lilac, and I've got all the other colours here. I've got the Amsterdam Permanent Blue Violet. I've got the Amsterdam Ultramarine Violet Light and the Amsterdam Ultramarine Violet. So they're the main part of the colour palette, the violets and the purples. And then the 2 metallics I'm going to use are by Pebeo Studio Acrylics, the Iridescent Precious Gold and the Iridescent Silver. So I will list all of those in the description box just so you can see them. That's going to be my colour palette. Let me just show you a close-up. So they're the colours. That's the canvas. Let me show you the colours all mixed up. So I am using a pouring medium. I'm using O-Troll by Floetrol. I'm using some water and I'm using the paint. So for all of these, the ratio is 1 part paint, 1 part water, 3 parts pouring medium. So that's for each of these colours, and you can see that when they run off the spatula, they do leave a little bit of a trace and then it disappears. And that's the same for all of these colours. Runs off the spatula, leaves a little bit of a trace and then just disappears. And that's the consistency that you're looking for. Almost like, I guess, describe it as like runny honey. Just goes off the spatula and disappears for all of these colours. So they're all my colours mixed up. So the ratio 1-1-3, 1 part paint, 1 part water, 3 parts pouring medium. My canvas is there ready and my colour palette is here. Let's go. So first of all, my first task is to place the paint within the egg box. So I'm going to use one colour at a time and I'm going to place the paint directly in the egg carton, and that's going to be what I pour over the top of this canvas. So for this creation, I'm using that full colour palette. I really love the contrast of those purples and lilacs. And I really do love that gold. But I also want to use the silver. So I'm going to use the silver on the base, and I'll explain more about that shortly. So that's enough paint now in the egg box. And I'm now just going to take the silver and I'm pouring the silver paint directly from the cup onto the canvas. And that's what's going to be my base colour. And I don't just want this to be the base colour, this is almost acting as a bit of a flow extender. I need enough paint on the surface of the canvas to allow the other paint to infuse and travel when I pick up the canvas and tilt it from side to side later on. So I've just used my palette knife to spread out that paint across that surface area. I'm not too fussy with the edges because when I add more volume, so the paint from my egg box, which I'll do now, that will increase the paint coverage, increase that amount of paint for me to cover those areas. So I'm just tilting slowly from side to side, allowing that paint to go from the egg box onto the canvas itself. And then what I'll do is I will pick up the canvas, tilt it from side to side, but try and keep those lines. I don't necessarily need them to be straight lines, but I would like to keep that detail and those lines as I see them now. So I am going to tilt, I'm going to use my torch to pop any air bubbles, and then we'll start stretching this paint out and seeing what kind of pattern we can reveal. This really is about just taking your time, having some patience, just allowing that paint to flow, but also stepping back and really looking at how those lines are forming, how those colours are infusing together, and how much of those lines you want to tip off your canvas, tilt down the edges and down the sides, and then bring that paint back on itself to ensure that it covers the full canvas surface area. I'm really happy with this. What a great addition to my small canvas series. I'm really proud of it and I think it looks great. I'm going to take you in now so you can see some of those details, see those lines, and just see how those different tones of colour have worked together to create other tones. It really is eye-catching and I can't wait for this to dry because I will take you in just so you can see the dry version as well. But let me know in the comments below what you think about this and whether you're going to try something like this too. And if you don't have a purple colour palette with a gold and a silver, what other colours do you think you'll use and what colours would you like me to explore and experiment with in the future? Just drop them in the comments below and let me know. And here's the dry version. I'm loving those lines. The egg box or egg carton pour is a simple technique. Anyone can do it. Anyone just give it a go. Ensure there's some paint on the surface area of your canvas. Tilt the paint from the egg carton or egg box over that paint. Just go from side to side initially. You can even add swirls if you want, but just tip the paint slowly on your canvas and stretch it out and just see what happens. It's about having fun, exploring your art and creativity. I hope you've had fun today. I know I have. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I really hope I get to see you again in the next video. Have a great week ahead, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.